What up, internet, and welcome to At Least You Got Us' very first episode of Sporting Good, the show in which we take some time to pass judgment on the finest athletes in the world. You know, being such consummate athletes ourselves. But this isn't your usual sports show. No, we're more about going off the beaten path here at ALYGU, so I invite you to join me as we take a wander down sports' more random aspects. And today we're starting with the 5 weirdest sports that you can totally play and watch if you feel like it too. Scandinavia is known for beautiful fjords, the northern lights, and giving the Russians the middle finger. But I'm willing to bet that few people have ever heard about wife carrying, which is a shame considering how utterly hilarious this sport looks. Introduced in Finland back in 1992, the object of the sport is fairly straightforward. Contestants must carry a female competitor on their backs while racing around an obstacle course 253 meters long, consisting of 2 dry obstacles and 1 wet obstacle. The female contestant may be your own wife, a neighbor's wife, or, and I'm quoting here, you may have found her farther afield. All of which really makes me question Finland's spousal dynamics. The wife in question does have to be older than 17 and weigh at least 49 kgs, so at least they're keeping it classy. I couldn't find anything in the rules that explicitly states that it has to be a male-female pairing, but then again, I have yet to find a clip of 2 guys just monstering it around the course and then passionately making out to celebrate their victory. But, you know, maybe there's room to grow. The World Championships are held in Sunkijärvi, Finland every year, and the prize is the wife's weight in beer, which feels a little bit sexist now that I'm thinking of it. Coming in at number 4 is competitive hopping, which is just the most adorable thing you have ever seen. Technically speaking, the correct term is rabbit show jumping, but I refuse to bow to the pressures of the rabbit show jumping elite, so competitive hopping it is. We have the Scandinavians to thank for this one again, although this time it's Sweden. Man, it's almost like being stuck indoors on long winter nights leads a person to think up some crazy ass shit. Competitive hopping first started in the 1970s and originally followed the same rules as horse jumping, which feels a bit unfair on the bunnies, who almost certainly ended up with crippling inferiority complexes. Apparently, the organisers agreed because the rules were soon changed to better suit the bunnies, and the first national championships were held in 1987. But the sport really seems to have taken off in the 2000s, with Denmark, Germany, Norway, England, Australia, New Zealand, and the USA all getting in on the action. There aren't any restrictions to the breed of bunny that you can use, but considering that you're going for height here, you may want to pick one that can actually jump. The current world record stands at 1.6 meters, and the record for the long jump is 3.1 meters, which, come to think of it, is way higher and way further than I can jump. There doesn't seem to be a South African rabbit hopping club anywhere at the moment, so, you know, if you feel like starting anything, this could be your route to fame and fortune. Probably not, though. If, like me, you enjoy your chess with a bit more blood and sweat involved, and I do mean literally, then chess boxing is for you. Basically, this sport is exactly what it sounds like. 2 competitors go at each other in alternating bouts, so chess, then boxing, then chess again. Apparently, the idea is to combine the world's toughest thinking sport with the world's toughest fighting sport, creating some mega competition of ultimate challenge for anyone who dares attempt it. Honestly though, I think it's just an excuse to watch either a bunch of chess nerds get the shit kicked out of them, or a bunch of boxing jocks taken to the cleaners by people 1/3 their size. But lest you think that this is a sport for fringe lunatics, and I can't think what would give you that idea, chess boxing has actually been endorsed by the World Chess Federation. It seems to have had a particular boost into professionalism in the last decade, with the World Championships being held in 2013 in Russia. And now to Gloucester, England, where every year a bunch of lunatics get together to chase a 4 kg wheel of cheese down a 182 metre hill and hope not to get injured. Welcome to the annual Cooper's Hill Cheese Rolling Competition, which has been going since at least 1826 and is likely even older than that. The format of this event is pretty easy to understand. Somebody rolls a wheel of cheese down the hill and then whoever's game goes chasing after it. The first person to either catch the wheel of cheese or cross the line at the bottom without breaking their necks is the winner. And for your death-defying trip down this particular grassy knoll, your prize is none other than the wheel of cheese that tormented you throughout the entire ordeal. No one is exactly sure how this whole thing got started, with theories ranging from the pretty boring it had to do with grazing rights or something, to my personal favourite, which is that it has to do with a pagan tradition of welcoming spring every year by rolling bundles of burning brushwood down the hill. Those crazy pagans. Whatever your interpretation, I do feel like this offers some contemporary insight into why British people are the way they are today. You simply can't take this many hits to the head and come out on the other end a sane, rational human being. That being said, the man has tried to shut this event down in the past, back in 2009, citing safety concerns, which, doesn't seem that far-fetched. However, those pesky cheese chasers were back at it in 2010, and since then the event is run more or less unofficially, with the only people on site who seem to have any relevant qualifications being the poor St. John's ambulance people, who must draw straws to see who has to go deal with the multiple sprains, fractures and concussions every year. You would think by now that you'd have a handle on the ridiculousness of the sports on this list, but that's only because you have no idea about Kabaddi. This particular slice of awesomeness comes to us from the Indian subcontinent, and it is absolutely insane. Oh sure, it just looks like a bunch of random dudes running around a court and tackling each other for some reason, but that's because you have no idea of the nuance going on in that mosh pit of crazy right now. Basically, the point of Kabaddi is to eliminate as many members of the opposing team as possible. Teams do this by sending one of their own team members, the raider, into the other team's half, where he must tag as many people as possible before making it back over into his half while not being tackled the fuck out. If he manages this, everybody he tagged is eliminated. Oh, by the way, did I mention that he's not allowed to breathe while doing this? Raids last 30 seconds, and the whole time the raider must chant Kabaddi to show the referees that he is doing it all on a single breath without inhaling. I don't even think I could do that while standing still, let alone pulling off the spider monkey shit these guys are doing. The way the defense works is really interesting as well. Basically, they're aiming to remain untouched until they all judge that the time is right to pounce on the raider and prevent him from getting back to the safety of his own half. So they'll all surround him, luring him deeper and deeper into their half until they all close in for the kill, in a display of hive-mindedness that would make the ball proud. There is just so much going on in this sport to properly cover in this video, but do yourself a favor and head on over to YouTube to check out some of the games. Once you understand what's going on, it's like watching some weird synthesis of karate, dance and tag all just folding in on each other. It truly is a beautiful thing. That concludes our list of weird and wonderful sports here on ALYGU Sports Good. There are a bunch of sports I found that didn't make it onto this list, so hopefully I'll be able to do a follow-up list soon. If you can think of anything or you know of any sports that you didn't see here today, please let us know in the comments so we can cover it. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video or any of the others on the channel, please do hit like and subscribe and share. It helps us out a lot. Otherwise, I will see you all soon. Till then, stay safe, stay sane, and stay sexy.